odd, but at the same time, it was cool. I got to learn about cryptography in my discrete math class. That was the last thing we did for that class, and then
What's
for my other
cryptography?
one, cryptography is basically the encryption and decryption of messages. So in that one, we learned like basic cryptography, and after that, we learned the RSA um, encryption system, which is you choose two prime numbers, and then from those two prime numbers, you choose one that you didn't choose. You calculate for n, which will be used for the module or modulo, what the fuck you want to call it. Um, so in this case, for example, I'm using P and Q, which are my two prime numbers, as 3 and 11, and the modulo, which is n, would equal to 33. And then other than that, we had to look for phi um, to in order to find well, not find, I guess you could say find, yeah, calculate for the decryption key, which would be, for example, let's say I choose, okay, so for example, I forgot to mention this. There's also the variable e, in which in this case would represent the encryption key. And I would, for example, I'm gonna choose e as 3. And so based on all those factors that they already have, P, Q, and phi, and E, I can find my decryption key, which would be it's basically the multiplicative inverse of E, and then you find the modulo of that um, based off the value of phi. So the way you find phi is it's almost the same thing as you find n, except instead of multiplying, for example, 3 times 11, you do.
Dude, I'll be real with you. You lost me so long ago. I'm just trying to fucking figure out what the fuck you're talking about.
It's pretty simple, honestly. Like once you get the hang of it, it's actually not that bad. The only thing about cryptography, dude, is that whenever you decrypt a message, it can take so fucking long, bro. And it's it's fun, but it's so time consuming, bro. I had a good time, but also not really because in reality,
Dude,
actually, I did the assignment today, and I started at 6 a.m. and finished at like 11 a.m.
dude,
So like 5 hours.
I'll never understand you math majors, dude. You guys, so in high school I was good at math. Like it
Yeah.
just made sense because I always found like little shortcuts to do things. But I always hated it. I always thought it was so fucking boring. I was like, okay, I get good grades in this, but I don't really want to do this ever again. Hopefully I can live the rest of my life without ever having to do this. Obviously that's not going to happen because math is pretty important in some things, at least the basic levels.
Especially
But
for no, hear me out. Especially for coding. I know that you want to learn coding, and
I
math
mean,
is a huge part
eventually,
about that. Yeah.
but like I see numbers and it's just like instant dread. I'm like, oh my god, this shit again. I thought I was I thought I was done with this shit. It's like,
You're
so
always gonna come up on
when
that.
you start talking about these things with like excitement, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? They
It's because
dropped him
I
on
find
his head
it.
when he was little or something.
I just find it interesting, bro. That's just my type of stuff. Like for example, you like different stuff, right? You like anime. You know, I like different stuff. I like math, music. I like different kind of shit. Everybody has their own tastes and their own passions, I guess you can say. Um, yeah, I don't know, dude. I've always been fascinated with math since like a little kid. I wasn't really good at math okay, so at first I wasn't good at math, believe it or not.
And then you were
Um,
really, really bad. And then all
I
of a
was
sudden
like
you were good,
bad.
but like kind of good. And then you went to back to being bad, and now you're good. Is that what you're saying?
No, 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 no. Okay, so at first I was bad, and thankfully my mom would like wake me up. This is why I have this habit of waking up early. She would wake me up at 4 in the morning or 5. She would make me like change whatever. Well, she would get me ready because I was a little kid. And once I was ready for school, before we went to my school, like 2 or 3 hours prior to go, like before I went to school. She would make me memorize the like multiplications from not from 0 or 1 because those are easy as fuck. But she would make me start from 3 and then from 3 and 2 as well. She skipped those 2 because those are easy as fuck. She would make me start from 3 and she would make me memorize all the way up to 13. And then from there, she would push it further and further and further. So it got to the point where I would learn the multiplication table from technically 0 all the way up to like 30. And so, like, you can tell me, like, "Oh, 33 times 3, oh, it's 99, 33 times 4, oh, what," like, blah, blah, blah. Like, she would, like I was
Like
basically a
30 times
fucking robot.
25 or what?
Yeah, like, she would, like, make me, like, learn all
Well,
these,
that's not even that bad. You hear about these kids
I
who
was
can do
no, but, like, I was a
like
little kid.
16,000 times 7,654, and they're like fucking 6. And you're
No,
like,
yeah, but,
dude, this
like
guy's like a computer on his head or something. He's a
yeah,
fucking
but, like
robot.
yeah, she literally made, like she was, like, basically making me a robot, so, like but you have to consider the fact that I was, like, 4 years old, 5 years old. I was learning all this shit, like, pretty, like, early. You don't learn multiplication until you're in, like, the 3rd grade. Um, so she would make me learn all these things pretty quickly, and I learned them quick, and, you know, luckily and thankfully, because of that, I got to develop my logical skills, pretty early, and that's why I wanna say that I don't wanna say I am, like, prestigious, but I wanna say I'm pretty competent when it comes to math. Um, and because math is heavily based off logic, especially subjects such as discrete math, proofs, like, different proofs, because you have to do, like, proof by induction, which isn't too obvious at the very beginning, but once you, like, get the hang of it and,
But I definitely think that like this is something that just goes over the majority of people's heads. It's because it's not very interesting. It's only interesting when you're good at it, I feel. It's like one of those things that until you're good at it, you're like,
yeah.
I don't know about that, man.
I mean, you can I mean, yeah, you can argue about that about practically anything. Like, "Oh, I find chemistry very interesting because in this and this and this." And honestly, personally, I
Well,
don't fuck with
I
chemistry. I don't
don't
like chemistry.
I don't necessarily think so because people can get into soccer at a young age because they saw a pro player do something sick. But you never have a fucking kid who's like, oh, bro, I saw this guy solve this equation on TV. Shit, man, I tell
Yeah,
you what.
that's the thing too. Like, we
So
don't
it's like
have
it's not hyped up. There's like nothing to build
yeah.
it up. So I feel like unless you actually get good at it, it won't be some.
Well, I'm an exception because honestly, ever since I was like, like from an early age, dude, I've been like seeing all these different like shit, like like all these wonders from like astrophysics and like theoretical like physics, like all this complicated stuff. And since I was little, by default, when we're kids, we're all very fucking curious. And not only that, but we're very creative. And so because of that, because of my curiosity and my creativity, I was like, man, like imagine all this shit, like how complex things really are. And I was just basically thinking about the bigger picture. I was like, yo, like that shit's fucking crazy. Like, yo, this is like composed out of math. This is math too. That's math too. So like basically I just started to see shit differently. So like for example, when I would be playing with my toys, believe it or not, bro, I would like in my head to like apparently calculate the trajectory of like if I threw a fucking toy or if I was gonna like it was weird. Like I
But
don't know,
well,
bro.
so I've
Like
always had that too. Like I can see like trajectories and things. So whenever I used to play soccer, I could always tell where the ball was gonna land, even from like a young age, because I could calculate based off of the arc, or I could calculate based off the position of the lighting versus the shadow. But even like one step above that, and I always thought I wasn't ever sure if it was like true, but I've had like classmates when I used to take advanced classes back when I was younger, when I lived in Canada. These kids would see numbers in like fucking colors or like fucking
Yeah.
different smells, and I'm like, dude, I just want whatever the fuck they're on, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm trying to say too. Like I always wanted to find out like the base like technicalities and foundations and theorems behind everything. So like you said, oh, like if I kick a ball, well, this is physics, obviously. If I kick the ball with this much force, how far is it gonna go? How is gravity gonna affect it? You have to consider all these different factors such as air friction, gravity, etc. So like that kind of curiosity was the type of shit I was on when I was younger. But like throughout time, as I got older, that kind of mentality changed because at first I was going for a degree on astrophysics. I wanted to be an astrophysicist, but I gave up on that because I was like, I'm not too sure if this is really what I like. Even though I really fuck with like the whole concepts and I find it really interesting, I just don't think I would really like enjoy studying beyond the superficial level because superficial stuff, it looks very interesting and looks nice and like, oh, very cool, like I want to learn about that. But once you start to learn more and more and more and deeper, you're gonna start to be like, okay, it's maybe not my thing. But
But that's usually
unfortunately
what it
that was,
is. As you learn
yeah, I
something,
know.
like once you start discovering it, if it's for you, you're gonna get hooked. It's
Exactly,
just,
yeah.
but that doesn't happen for everything.
Oh
That
no, that
being
most
that
definitely
being
not.
said, like I told you, we are. Wait, are you still there? Oh fuck, your camera
No,
froze
I'm
for
not
a
here.
second. I was like, where did you go?
I'm not
I
here,
did
dude.
start recording like 12 minutes ago, actually.
That's pug.
In
That's great.
yeah, in case you guys haven't been tuning in, welcome to the Anything Goes podcast. My name is Pablo, aka Subtly Artistic. I'm joined by my lovely, adorably cute co-host Alex, aka
How's it
Verexa.
going? Hey guys, how's it going?
I have been tinkering a little bit with the settings on the podcast. My mic should sound better compared to previous episodes if you've been tuning in. However, one thing I'm not sure of is I can't say it's hot as balls because I've been to other places where it's hotter, but for the normal weather and where I live, it's significantly hotter. It's been significantly hotter these past few days, so I actually have my fan blowing pretty strongly. It's not blowing directly at me, but it's not telling me that it's picking up the noise, but if it picks it up, I want to apologize. Also,
I
like I
actually
was
hear it right
telling
now,
you,
dude.
you can hear it?
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
Fuck no.
well, I have like a different filter on OBS, and OBS isn't saying that it's picking it up, but I have to just go off of that.
No, yeah, you're
Oh,
straight, bro. It sounds good right now.
also, I did get 2 lights, so if you can see my my face a little bit better, it's because of that. And I'm gonna keep tinkering with the settings and hopefully get it a little bit better because it's not quite where I'd like it, but yeah, dude, like I was telling you, I'm also thinking about I was thinking about getting blackout blinds, but
Me
they're
too.
more than I want to spend. Well, what I saw,
How much
it's
are
like,
they?
I mean, to get one for like my window, it'd probably be like somewhere around like $100 because of the size. But what I'm thinking of getting is I saw this thing. It's like
There's
you
a
know
couple for
it's
$20.
well it's because my window has like a very weird measurement to it. It's like
Oh,
it's like
whoa.
odd. Well,
What
first
are
of
the
all, it's double
measurements?
windows, but like the
F3.
but it's like the measurements are awkward, so I have to get it custom made, and I just don't want to deal
You
with
know,
that. What I found
y-
it's like that stuff that you put on the car so that the light doesn't get
yeah,
in.
I
It's
was about to tell you
similar
that.
to that,
I was about to
but
tell you
it's
right now
black.
that
It's like you put it over the window and it doesn't
the
let any light in, and that's like $10.
the the polarizing filter. That's what I was gonna tell you that too. I don't have blackout curtains, but I have my windows polarized, and
Well,
so
it's
they're
similar to that, but this one doesn't let anything in.
well. Then
It's
just
like
do
no
that. I
light. Yeah,
mean,
I'm gonna
if
do
it
that, and I'm gonna buy. I want to buy AC and like one of the window ACs, and then just put like I don't know, like plywood or something like that to kind of like cover the rest of the area. because my windows don't open from the top down; they open from side to side.
Oh yeah, okay, it's one of those.
And then I think for now that'll be good.
Kind of like one of those McDonald's windows, bro. Just yeah, take your
Hello,
order.
exactly.
Yo, bro,
Are you the one with the double Big Mac?
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna fucking pull up on your house and be like, yo, bro, can I take an order real quick?
Or like that one scene in San Andreas, yeah, I'll get a number 5.
Oh,
No.
dude, big smoke.
Yeah.
Can I have a number 5? 2 number 2s, and I don't know the rest. I actually recently played the game. I don't know. I don't recall the exact quote, even though it's been repeated like countless times by everybody. Speaking of which, bro, of video games, bro, I just bought The Crew 2, and
Is that a racing game? Or what's it? I've
yeah,
seen it, but I don't know what it's
it's a
about.
racing game. It's not purely just like car racing. There's airplanes, there's boats, there's motorcycles, you know, of course,
But
cars.
what do you do though? Do you just drive cars, or you like and do races, or you're like doing like shit?
I do not know. I haven't played the game yet, but
Oh,
apparently it's really good because apparently people consider it to be an ambitious game, and they have like a so basically the map, it's a very concise United States. So you can go from San Francisco to Dallas and Dallas to like New York. Um, but like I'm saying, it's a super concise United States map, and you can
right.
travel whole world. Um, and I just bought the game actually before we started recording. I bought the game because I don't know. I want to try
Oh, I
new
mean, you do
new
have a habit for playing like racing games, right?
games.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't. I just
you're into GTA, right? You fucking play Hot Wheels. You like, okay, guys. He has. I don't know if he's talked about this openly, but he has like
I
this weird
haven't.
fascination with Hot Wheels. If
Dude, they're
he says
fucking
it, if
pog.
he says if we could get sponsored by anybody, he'd like to get sponsored by Hot Wheels.
Wait, Hot Wheels, dude. Don't you think it's fucking badass, dude? Like, dude, okay. So I told Pablo, like, I might consider investing in buying one of those huge ass Hot Wheels garages and just put it as a fucking background because I don't know. I just think they look sick.
Just buy one of those Hot Wheels bed frames and just have it
That's
in
what
the background.
have it in the background. Dude, for real, that's very convenient. No, okay, so the thing about Hot Wheels is that okay, so I first started my fascination with Hot Wheels started with the video games. Um because yes, I had Hot Wheels, like the actual cars, and I would play with them, but I wouldn't really do much with them because I actually didn't. I never had the tracks, so I would just improvise with whatever the fuck I had. I still had fun, right? But it wasn't as extreme as the video games. The video games you can like fucking shoot rockets, you can go through these different ramps, and like the thing about the video games, I like them a lot. Well, especially Hot Wheels beat that because the maps were different like actual locations, and they were like super large. Like the scale was humongous because you're a Hot Wheels car. And so, for example, one of the maps, it's a bowling alley, and one of the tracks of that map has the little return tunnel where the bowling balls go back as part of the track,
Oh,
and I just thought that was pretty cool when I was a little kid. And I guess you can say that's where I got my fascination of Hot Wheels cars. But yeah, yeah, if
bringing it back to like when you're
yeah,
saying you didn't have the tracks when you were little, I had a similar experience to that. I don't know if you ever owned any Beyblades growing up.
yeah, Beyblades,
So I
of
had a bunch
course,
of like I had like 4 or 5 growing up, and so did my siblings. But we never had the fucking stadium.
the
So
little thing
our quote unquote Beyblade stadiums were us just fucking like
holding
letting
them
it
with
rip.
your hands.
No. Our stadium was literally just the winner is the one who fucking stays spinning the longest.
The
So it's like
longest,
sometimes you got lucky and they hit each other, and it's like oh, and then it's over.
kind of like the Mexican trompos.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah,
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 kind
yeah.
of like that, where you put like people would just throw them together, and whoever lasted longer would win. Or whenever they bumped against each other, like, they'd be like, "Oh my god, like Pac-Man,
My
holy
God.
shit!" And then
Yeah, so something
it
like,
ends. It ends
but
quickly.
it's like looking back, it's like the most boring thing I can think of to entertain yourself.
I
It's
mean, we're
just
just kids, so
that's fair.
we like as a kid, you get entertained by anything.
Well, the thing about
Literally.
trompos is like you can do tricks with them. I don't know if you've ever seen the
I mean,
the
yeah,
tricks.
I've seen
So
tricks. I never got to do them myself, but I've seen people do them.
actually, let me look up a video for people that don't know what they are. So trompos are like these little Mexican toys. I don't know if they're popular in any culture.
I think they're called spinning tops.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, I think so.
I only know of them because, when I was younger, there was a period of time where I lived in Mexico. And they use these over there.
Dude, my
So
shit.
basically, like you can see in this picture here, you would wrap the cord around the trompo and you kind of like, it's like the motion is similar kind of to like when you like
Kind of
toss
like a
a
flick.
rock, when you flick a rock into the water to try to
Yeah.
get it to skip. It's something like that. But you can actually do like tricks with these. So as far as like what he's saying, like, hold on, let's see.
Look at that guy, dude. What a fucking G.
As far as like what you're saying with Beyblade, like I guess you're right, but you're also wrong because you can't do tricks with Beyblades, but you can do.
Oh no, I was just talking about like the superficial like trompo stuff. I wasn't talking about the tricks.
So it's like you do like balancing tricks, and there's like stuff from like simple to like complicated. Like they had people walk it on their hands and like rewrap it, kind of like they. I don't know. People were crazy with it.
Yeah,
I could
for
do like
real.
very simple ones and stuff, but
I only flicked it. And that's it. I didn't do much.
yo, did
Like,
you ever fuck up your flick and accidentally yeet it at someone?
yeah.
Good
I actually
times,
yeeted it
dude.
once. I actually yeeted it once towards a fucking car,
Oh no.
and I broke the window.
Oh no.
I
Huh.
got away with it. That's all I gotta say. But it wasn't a good time because I was I was like fuck. So I just fucking yeeted. Like I just ran away. I was like fuck.
Oh,
I'm in big trouble.
I've been meaning to ask. I mean, kind of because like it's related, like hitting people with trompos, and it said that you wanted to talk about slapping tournaments, but I don't know what you were referring to.
Dude, have you seen those fucking slapping tournaments from like okay now there's one American version of it, but originally they were like Russian slapping tournaments. Have you seen those, dude? Those are fucking nuts.
No, do you have like
Look,
a link so I can kind of get a look at it? Is it
yeah,
like
let
they're
me
just
look it
like
up.
bitch slapping each other till someone passes out or knocks out?
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. Look, let me send you a link real quick. So this is one of them.
It's a little segment I like to call Two Guys on Their Computers.
Pug. Oh yeah, when we're kind of like quiet, just looking for shit up.
Yeah, we're professional guys, we promise.
Very professional. Carbon neutral since 2007.
You find it yet?
I already sent you the link.
Oh, you did? Oh shit! My
Yeah.
bad. My bad. My bad. I'm sleeping out here.
Actual sleeper, bro. What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Look at the way this guy trains, bro.
Oh,
I mean, you can watch that if you want, but it can go to the slapping part.
dude, that's fuck that, dude.
Okay, you went a little further. Too far, bro. Weird champ.
I mean, but they're fighting, no? Ooh,
I think you can put on the audio. They're not gonna copyright strike you. I think at least I don't think because there's no music.
I don't know. What if I get fucking copyright struck by best fight scenes?
I doubt it. I mean,
Bro,
Charlie
that's not a
has watch
slap.
face.
That's not a
Charlie
slap. Bro, he
Charlie
hit him in
has
the
watch
fucking
face.
neck.
That's because he moved.
Bro,
Oh,
that's
bro,
not
did
a
I tell you that?
slap.
Did I tell you that this week I've been learning Russian?
Dude, that's not a dude. He hit him in the neck, bro. That was
Like,
a
was
fucking fail, dude.
it?
Oh, damn. Why is he hitting him in the neck?
I
What's
think
up
it's a
with his
replay, bro.
aim, dude? I know, but what's up with the fucking aim?
EU aim, bro. Omega
You
low.
aim?
EU aim.
Oh, brother. Fucking A, dude.
It's fucking cracked, bro. Watch this
What are they
shit.
smelling? Like fucking alcohol? Dude,
I have
what's
no
his
idea.
aim? I can't get over, dude. That's like the third time that he smacks him in the neck. No wonder
Dude,
this guy's still fucking
dude,
conscious.
it's because, dude, this guy, he's tugging his fucking head like a turtle.
Mm.
I mean, they later established rules that you cannot do that. So this was like before this kind of, I guess you could say, sport popped off.
Bro, that was dead ass in the throat and he didn't even tuck. Look. Ugh. This guy's aim is just atrocious. I can't look at it anymore. Dude, that's crazy. I could never. I'm a little bitch when it comes to pain, not gonna lie.
Seriously?
Oh, I mean, kind of. I don't like fighting, and I try to avoid it as much as I can.
Oh yeah, I don't like fighting either.
I mean, last time someone tried to get in a fight with me, they sucker punched me, and
That's
they
the worst.
knocked the glasses off of my face, and my reaction, I started dying. I just thought it was so funny that he was like so fucking weak, and like before I jumped on him and beat the shit out of him, I was like, "Did you see where my glasses landed?" I wanted to make sure I didn't step on my glasses and break them while I was beating the fuck out of him. While I was beating all his fucks.
That okay, so I had a similar experience, but it wasn't with glasses, it was with a watch. And the full disclaimer, yes, it was my fault that I was wearing a watch during a, do you know what body blows are?
The what? Body
Body
blows?
blows? Yeah.
Like, describe it to me. I think I
So
did, but I don't know if I did.
body blows, it's basically like mutual combat where both agree that, oh, okay, so yeah, we're gonna fight, right?
Okay.
But
It's
in
only
the
from
case
like
of
the
body,
neck down?
in it's torso, it's just pure torso. So yeah, like from here to like your stomach,
Yeah.
just pure torso. And so I was doing body blows with one person that I knew. We would just do them for fun back then. And in one of those matches, I was wearing my watch, but you know, like I said, that was on me. And so the guy threw a punch, and he somehow fucking hit my watch, and I was like, bro, like you done fucked up because it was an expensive watch, and also it was my father's. God damn, bro. Excuse
Dude,
me,
you've been
guys.
sucking too many dicks, I think.
No, dude, I think I'm getting sick, honestly, but that's fine. And so, like I said, the guy hit my watch, and it went fucking flying, and I had to repair that shit, and the repairing fee was expensive, and I had that in mind, and I was like, oh, bro, I was pissed. I was like, man, fuck this guy, and literally right after that, I was like, bro, just leave it there. I'll take care of it later. Literally, as soon as we resumed the match, I started fucking hooking him and hooking him and hooking him, like each fucking rib. I don't know why the fuck the guy never covered himself down, like his ribs, but I kept landing punch after punch after punch after punch, that I dragged them from one end of the not bathroom, from the one end of the restroom all the way to the other end. And that was like like a huge distance. The other people that were watching had to break us apart, and I was just like, you know what, like whatever. Like, I mean, evidently we're done here, right? So I just went to grab my watch, and I just changed, and I went to my next class. and the other guy was just on the fucking floor, fucking dying, bro. Literally, before he was on the floor, all you saw was him just stand right there, and then just fucking fall. And he was like panting, like he was like, like he was fucking panting because I fucking hit him so many times that he lost his air. And I don't know why the fuck, but your story reminded me of that.
Well, the thing is with mine, like, I didn't get to, like, okay, so this guy had fucking, he had like kind of ties to, like, he was like, I think getting in the process of getting inducted to a gang, so he thought he was fucking tough or whatever, and he tried bossing me around. And I'm like, dude, fuck off. He tried to tell me to go do something when I had just heard someone tell him. I'm like, I'm not doing it. And he tried to step up to me. He sucker punched me, and when I laughed in his fucking face, he ran away. And I mean, I saw him years later, and he was with, like, I think, like, his mom, but I wasn't gonna cause like a fucking, like, a big deal out of it. I'm like, dude, that was years ago. I don't fucking care. Whatever. Clearly, I won that fight if he felt the need to run away, even after he threw a sucker punch.
He fucking fled, dude. What a pussy. Mm-hmm. Imagine fleeing, bro.
It is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't do much about that. It's whatever. But I don't like fighting either, but I mean, when that happened, like in my case, I was young. I didn't know better. I was literally like, what, fucking 8th grade.
Yeah.
So
going back to that topic about video dgames, did you see that? Okay, so I don't know if you've known this, but slowly Sony has been like porting its like exclusives onto PC. And like, yes, obviously, sir. PS4 gamers are like upset because it's what makes PlayStation unique. And I mean, back in the day before I had a PC, I would have probably been one of those people. But having a PS4 and having a PC, it gets me hyped to be able to play these games on PC because it's games that I've already beaten, and I just get to play them with better graphics. You know, like right now. Okay, so right now I think right now they're currently working on Uncharted 4. But they're also gonna do Ghost of Tsushima, the God of War remake, or not the remake, and they're doing an Uncharted collection.
Yeah.
So I'm just pumped. I'm just really oh no, well, it does say it's gonna be exclusive to Steam and PC. So only thing I was worried is that it'd be an Epic Games exclusive like Kingdom Hearts was. I refuse to buy games from Epic Games. I refuse to get their free games. Just off of the fact that their store is pee pee poo poo, to say the least.
You know, the free games. Apparently, Epic does some shady stuff where all the free games they give out, they only give like a small percentage of revenue to those. Okay. So the developers there, yeah. So for example, if like right now they're giving away. Oh shit, Sonic Mania. I'm gonna cop that real quick.
I actually have Sonic Mania. I got it on Humble Bundle not too long ago.
So for example, right now I'm getting Sonic Mania, right? And from this free game that I'm getting, the developers, dude, why the fuck is this so bright? Jesus.
You look like you're one of those girls that like puts on way too much makeup.
There you go. So the developer of Sonic Mania, Lab 42. So in this case, I get the game for free, and Lab 42 gets little to no revenue.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't like Epic Games. They screw so many people, and dude, they have nothing on Steam. Steam has like community tabs. They have like all the guides that people can like put for the games. People can even, in some cases, they can put like mods, and you can download it straight from Steam.
Oh yeah,
you have your friends list. Yeah, you have your friends list, which is like its own thing, and it's like I don't use it, but I know some people communicate through it. You have achievements. You know, the store is easier to browse through. At least I think so. And I mean, sure, people complain about Steam, but I think in comparison, Steam is better. And I feel like the only reason they go with Epic Games exclusivity is because a lot of games make money like outright. And then they, after like a year, they go to Steam because they know that more people are going to buy it then. Which I kind of get, but it's just kind of annoying having to wait a year.
I mean, It is what it is, man. I mean, it's all about that money, that money.
It
Um,
is. I
I was
mean, it's
gonna.
just there's like a lot of games that kind of just lost hype. Like obviously, like the Kingdom Hearts games. Like I don't think too many people bought them on PC just because they came out on Epic Games. There's Borderlands 3, which the PC launch was kind of. I mean, the game launched kind of buggy on console too, and on Epic Games. But the fact that it was Epic Games exclusive, I think definitely hindered the sales for that
Yeah,
game.
I had to buy the game on Epic Games. I was kind of like, I mean, I don't really care, right? But then afterwards, I was like, oh,
And
dude,
I mean, obviously, like I was going to buy it if it came out on Steam, but it didn't come out on Steam, and I'm like, I'll wait for the game. And then I saw how buggy it was, and then I saw how cringy the storyline was. And obviously, Borderlands is not really known for like its amazing stories, but I feel like at least Borderlands 2, was it 2?
had good, yeah,
Yeah, had a
Borderlands
good
2.
villain. Handsome
Yeah,
Jack. I think he's a pretty good villain. I mean, obviously, it's just same thing. Guns, kill people. Skills. It still has that, but I don't know.
shooter, bro. You
I
kill, you
saw I
loot,
saw
you
I saw
farm.
the like the enemies, and it just like
Borderlands
looks like
3.
some out of touch like boomer trying to relate to millennials and zoomers. So I was like, I'll skip on this. Maybe if it goes on sale for like $5, I'll play it for the achievements and then just fucking delete it. Never touch it ever
That's
again.
fair. That's
Never
fair.
fucking
Oh,
touch
yeah.
it again.
So okay, so I got the game. I wouldn't say right off the bat because I didn't get it right off the bat, but I did get the game. I think it was during Black Friday. Yeah, I think it was Black Friday or this was it December? I don't remember. I don't even remember.
Black
Anyways,
December? You got it
I
during Black
remember.
December?
No, I got it during either fucking Christmas or Black Friday. I don't remember, but either way, I got it at a discount. And honestly, my experience with Borderlands 3, it was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I had you know, I had a blast. But then at the end, I was just kind of like, eh. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't really find a lot of replayability with Borderlands 3 as I did with like Borderlands 2 and also the prequel. I played the prequel a lot. Um but I don't know. I guess I like Borderlands 3 because it the way it looked and the story was kind of all right. But I must say that sometimes the humor in Borderlands 3 I felt like it was kind of forced.
Out of touch.
Yeah, and out of touch, exactly. It was like it didn't feel like actual Borderlands. It felt very odd, and I guess that's what really made the game like like for me because I was just like I don't know, there's something odd about this game. It's not really Borderlands.
Yeah.
So I can see what you mean, and I can definitely say that the game doesn't really have that much replayability, and sadly, unfortunately, I bought the game with the season pass. So I bought the most expensive one, and literally 2 months ago or 3 months ago, maybe, I barely started playing the game again, and I barely finished, like, one of the DLCs, and it was kind of
Bad.
I don't know. I wouldn't say bad. It was just
Not good.
it was it was adequate enough for me to be like, it's
That's fair.
Borderlands. It's Borderlands. I mean, the only
Exactly.
thing I liked about Borderlands 3 is that they brought back the Maggie revolver, even though they didn't feel like the same. But yeah, I can definitely see that Borderlands 3 wasn't that much of a success as, Borderlands
The
2 and 1. 1 was pretty good too. And the prequel
it
was,
was
good.
yeah. It kind of
The
gave you a little
prequel,
taste. I think the second one was the best.
yeah, the second
I
one was the
would
best, most
say
definitely.
pre-sequel is better than the first, but I think maybe and it's not even that good. But I think the story for the first one is
Telltales?
better for the pre-sequel.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I mentioned the Telltales.
Oh, the Telltale one I thought was fine for what it was. It was fun for what it was.
I
mean,
never got to play them.
you know what you're getting into when you play a Telltale's
Oh
game.
yeah,
You know what
most
I mean?
definitely.
They're
Yeah, of course.
they're basically the same thing. All the games, they just have like a different what's it called? Different textures. It's basically the same game with different textures. So,
dude, upgraded textures, Pog.
I mean, you know you're getting into when you get that. So it's not really. I wasn't like expecting anything else. I got what I paid for.
True.
I know if I remember correctly, we talked about this on one of the previous episodes. I did know that we didn't want to talk about it too much because we didn't know the full extent of what was going on. However, I mean, you saw this and I saw this, but I still want to talk about the fact that Drake Bell pled guilty.
Guilty? Yep.
Yes. So, in case you guys did not watch that episode or do not know what's going on, Drake Bell had been accused of, I don't know, like a lot of things, like endangering like minors and
endangering minors,
like,
yeah.
You know, I don't know if soliciting is the right word, but almost like kind of like almost like sexual activity with minors. And as it looks like now, he about like 23 hours or so ago was reported that he pled guilty to 2 counts involving a minor. The charges stem from an incident in Cleveland involving a 15-year-old Canadian girl. It happened in December 2017 while Bell was in town for a concert. He now awaits his sentence. And I mean, it's fucked up. You know,
I mean, you think
at
so?
At the very least, it's fucked up. I don't know what kind of pushes someone to want to do something like this. I don't know if it's like having like all that power or something. I can't really say that I relate. But one thing that comparison that people were, I don't like people were saying this is, oh, I understand why Josh didn't invite him to his wedding. I don't know if you heard about that controversy a few years back.
Oh yeah.
So they were trying to say, oh, this is why, because he knew he was a bad person or blah 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 blah. And
I mean, that's just pure speculation, no?
Well, I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's like, how can you say that when Josh is still friends with people like David Dobrik?
Yeah.
You know, which, I mean, maybe not to this extent, but, or in this similar fashion, but he does have a track record for, you know, doing things that aren't so good, to say the least.
Good.
Yeah, like how he almost killed his quote-unquote friend. It almost feels like a cult, what David Dobrik has going on. Like, I almost feel like they don't really have... Like, they're forced to be like a certain persona. I don't know. I don't really know the full context of what's going on over there, but to me, it's always seemed like kind of sus.
Very sus indeed. I was gonna say that I saw this yesterday with my mom after I was done with like, what was it? I was done studying chapter, like one of the chapters of this last module. After I was done, I went to like my mom's room and I was like, you know, checking on her and just saying what's up. And she was just watching the news, so I just sat down and I was watching the news with her. And that was like one of the news, like, oh, like Drake Bell pleaded guilty, and I'm like, oh shit, we talked about that in the podcast, but you know, now this time it's confirmed that the guy is guilty as fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this kind of shit's it really makes you want to think.
The thing is, like, I feel okay, not to like say that what happened wasn't messed up, because it was, but I think I have this issue with like separating. I don't know if it's like an issue, but like my stance on when it comes to art and separating it from the people. Like, there's songs from Drake Bell that I like. And
I never listened to the music.
There is obviously Drake and Josh, which is a show that I'm very nostalgic about.
Oh yeah.
That has really good scenes that I remember from my youth. Like that classic episode where they got stuck in the fucking treehouse, you know? And although it's not something that avidly consume, it's not something that I feel I will cut out of my life just because of this incident, because I am able to separate the person from the art. And I know that's not something that everybody can do. So if
Oh yeah, for sure.
for you, you know, it puts you in that situation where you can't just simply ignore it, then, you know, it is what it is. But I feel like, I don't know, like, I mean, obviously the things that he did are not good, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I don't know what I'm trying to get at.
No. I know exactly what you mean. Like you don't let the fact that once you don't let let the personality of an artist affect your liking of their work of art, I guess you can say.
Because if you think about it, like, especially like, this is a persona that they're putting on, you know, you didn't listen to the music. At least I didn't listen to the music. I listened to the music because I liked it, not because of the person who sung it, you know?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, there's obviously like bands that I like and I'll listen to, but I don't like every single band or every single song from every band that I like. Sometimes I'll just like random songs here and there from people that I don't even know about. And
I just like good music. That's it. I guess you can say it's the same case for you. Like, oh, you like good,
or like
even with like
shows, right? These people are pretending to be somebody else in these shows.
I mean, they're actors.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're fucking
actors.
Like
they're literally acting. So
even though it's the same person that's doing it, I don't feel like you should like think of them as the same person. I don't know. Like, okay, I'll use one of the episodes. Actually, I don't even know if that's a good example. It's just they're pretending to be someone else. It's a fucking persona who's just wearing their mask, essentially.
Yeah, it's a facade.
It's art. It's a facade. It's just art. And I know a lot of people feel like very defensive both ways, and a lot of it might have to do. So you and we've been wanting to talk about this for a really long time, but like kind of like parasocial relationships.
I fucking hate. Yeah, I don't understand that kind of shit, dude.
For you that don't know what a parasocial relationship is, I'll kind of like describe it to you. So let's say you have there's a video game that you like to play, or some sort of streamer that you like to watch, right? You see them every single day for hours on end, and you feel welcome on their stream, and you get to know the person because you see them so much, and because you're spending so much time with that person, you become attached to them and you start considering them your friend. Well, on the other hand, even though they're putting on a show for you or occasionally responding to your message, if obviously the less people are watching, the more likely they'll respond. But just because they do that, like,
doesn't mean they're your friend.
Yeah, so I don't know if we talked about this, but Alex and I used to stream games back when we were, a few years ago. And I definitely met a few people that they would stop by stream every single time I streamed, and they chat, and I was very happy that I was able to give them a place where they can hang out. But then they'd start talking to me like I talk to my friends, and it just kind of upset me because I've spent time with these people day in and day out. I've gotten to know who they are, in some cases, like meet their families and whatnot, meet their siblings, and I don't have that with these other people. So it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when they try to interact with me. It's not that I'm opposed to meeting new people, because I'm usually, unless I'm socially drained, I'm usually in a position where I'm like, okay, I'll meet a new person. But until it's like a relationship that happens both ways, like, we're not friends.
Yeah,
you watch me, and I appreciate that you watch me, but I don't know you like that. I don't hate you. Exactly. I just don't know you. And even though you know all this stuff about me, that doesn't like make us friends. And I feel like with the Drake, the the Drake Bell situation, it's something like that, because a lot of people grew up watching his shows or listening to his music, or they have fond memories of maybe even the Amanda show, and they have like an image for that. And so on one end, people will defend him because they'll be like, oh, my Drake Bell would never do that, blah 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 blah, he's so innocent, blah blah blah,
But you don't.
you know.
But yeah,
And then on the other end, you have people that for the same thing, the parasocial relationship, they've built this image around this person, that like this image of like perfection, and they hold these people to like impossible standards. They're like, this is how I see you in my head, and this is how you have to act, or I'll riot. And it's like not fair to the streamer or the person, you know, the actor, whatever, the musician, because, and I like to say that you have like a lot of different faces, right? No matter who you are, you have the face that you show your family, you have the face that you show your friends, and you have the face that you show strangers.
yes, dude,
You have a likable, you have your likable face, and you have your fucking resting bitch face. You know, you don't act the same way with everybody, and even amongst your friends, there's people that you talk to different. You know, I don't usually talk to my female friends the same way as I talk to my dude friends.
Yeah, so I think it's you reminded me of Japanese I superstition philosophy. I don't know what you want to call it, where it's you have three faces: the face you show to the world, the face you show to your close friends, and the face that you never show anyone. That's your true persona. That's kind of where you reminded me. But back to the whole parasocial thing, dude. I just don't understand how people can become so obsessive. Like, how can they be so obsessed with a person they don't really know? Sure, you might
Well,
know them
okay.
at a
Well, think about
superficial.
it this way, right? Let's say, I mean, we not so much anymore, that we don't hang out as much as we used to because we're busy with our lives. But we
Oh
try to
yeah.
do things together whenever we can. I mean, even
Hmm.
though we're states apart, we try to, you know, play games or at least talk and watch shows together whenever we
Yeah.
can. But slowly over time, you and I built a relationship, a friendship.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, like, it happened both ways, you know? So even whether we realize it or not, there's standards that you hold me to, you know? Because you know my personality, you know?
Of course. Yeah.
Or you want the bestest for me, or whatever, and vice versa. Now, imagine that relationship with me, but I don't have that with you. And that's exactly what happens in these situations.
No, yeah, I get that. I know that that's what parasocial like relationships are, but I don't understand how can people have these mentalities, you know?
Well, and it boils down to these people maybe not being able to form bonds with these people, or especially
Oh,
right now
okay.
with
So,
especially now with COVID going on and people not being able to go out, losing contact with friends that they once had, because let's say maybe these people are gamers and their friends are normies who don't use Twitch and they don't play video games on PC, so now they have no way to really contact them. They can't go play games with them.
the story of my life, bro. Holy shit.
So it's like
Happened to me.
that I feel like they start kind of like maybe even lusting for like some sort of social interaction, and all they're really able to get is a streamer, and they
Kind
get
of like a
attached to
coping
them.
mechanism, huh?
Yeah, kind of like a coping mechanism. But
I get that. I mean, I guess you can, yeah. I mean, I guess you can say it's a way to cope from all that isolation or like loneliness one person has. I know for a fact that I guess you can say that I was like having that back in like 2018, 2019. Where I mean, I've always been by myself, right? But that period of time, I don't know what it was, but something hit me where I was just like, oh, I actually feel lonely for once. And I would mostly just hang out in Twitch chat. Back then. Well, actually, when was it? Not 2019, sorry, 2017 to through 2018. Um that was like my prime time when I was watching different streamers through Twitch, but mostly I would be watching either XQC or aimbot Calvin. Um but mostly XQC, and I guess you can say that at the time I was kind of developing this like parasocial relationship, but not to the point where it's like obsessive and like I would defend XCC or whatever the fuck. Cause I wouldn't go out of my way and be like, "Oh no, bro, he doesn't deserve that fucking ban from the Overwatch League," and blah blah blah. I would just be like, "Oh, bro, he fucked up. That's okay. You know, it is what it is. Move on." Um, I don't know. I guess you can say at some point. I guess some people do. Well, not some. Everybody goes through like some parasocial relationship. If you think about it, at least I kind of went through it, but luckily I didn't really get it. I didn't get to develop that kind of relationship to the point where it's an obsession, 'cause I would be a fucking keyboard warrior, but, you know, I'm not that
Well,
kind of person. So
and like, I mean, as much as like we're gamers, I feel like you and I have like pretty decently strong like social skills.
oh, yeah, I mean,
And
I
like,
can talk to anybody.
so there's a lot of times where I'm just chilling, be it I'm writing something on my computer, like some typing something out, or I'm playing a video game. Like sometimes I just feel like lonely, and even though there's other people in my house, I don't want to go talk to them.
True.
So I will just, open up a stream and have someone talking in the background, and that's enough for me. But I don't grow attached to these people because
Me neither.
I have friends that I socialize with. I get along with the vast majority of my coworkers, and I'm able to have good times with them. And I am able to understand how it's supposed to feel with a mutual relationship or a mutual friendship. And in my head, I'm able to see these people as just entertainment.
True. Yeah.
Maybe at some point, like let's say I decided to get really to fucking grind the hell out of Valorant and put hours and hours, and maybe if I ever hit the top echelon of the game, like I'll meet these people and maybe we might become friends, but until then, they're just strangers. And
Mhm, yeah.
I understand that. But I feel like maybe for people that aren't like don't have the same social skills, it might maybe confuse them, leave
It
them in like
all
a confused state where
it
it's
all
like
really
maybe they're my friends, you
yeah,
know?
I mean, it all really comes down to one's, like, mental, um, state. So, like, are you like, for example, maybe somebody who's really going through rough times and really needs to, like, you know, needs some way to cope, he needs somebody to talk to, needs, you know, whatever. Let's say that person watches a streamer and, you know, I guess you can say that, like, that kind of stuff factors into that whole, parasocial, relationships, development. Um, and I wanna say that's kind of the the case because I stumbled upon a lot of people actually whenever I did, like, talk to people, and they would tell me that, "Oh, like, I'm not really going through a good time," like, "Oh, I'm depressed, blah, blah, blah," and all they really did was just, like all they did was talk about whoever the fuck, like, "Oh, dude, Pokemon did this, blah, blah, blah," and, like, they had these different like, they saw these people as, like,
They're
you know,
friends.
yeah, like we're
Like the
saying
homie,
what you said, their
like
friend
when you're
yeah.
hanging out with your friends, you're like, yo, did you see what Britney did at the party kind of thing?
Or like, "Oh, dude, look what Corpse did," and blah, 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 and I'm like, "Bro, like, you don't even know the guy, like, chill out. Do you don't know the guy, dude? Like, the fuck?" It's really like, at the time, it was really odd, but now, like, I can definitely see and understand why they did it. But I mean, I just wanna say that that kinda shit's it's still like, even though it works as a coping mechanism, I wanna say that it's not really good because at the end of the day, you're gonna develop all these social skills that do not remain true to, like, what reality really is. Um, and that kinda goes I think we spoke about this about a previous podcast where people don't have or don't understand social cues and they don't know what to do, how to act. And I want to say that if people continue having these relationships, these different mentalities, or just like develop fucking hell. They develop these perspectives of reality that are warped. And because of that, whenever they go out to the real world and have to interact, they're not gonna be able to because they don't know
Right.
how.
Yeah.
They they might think they know how because in their head it seems right, but it's not. It's wrong.
Right.
And so that's just in my opinion, parasocial relationships are not good
And I guess like
at
you could make
all.
the argument that you and I to some extent had a level of parasocial relationship back when we were playing Destiny, but
Yeah.
it's like kind of but not really, because even though we didn't have a direct connection with a lot of these big streamers, we were well known enough that they knew of us from association. Like
Yeah.
take it like like if we were matched up into a game against Real Crafty or Luminosity or you know any of the Primal guys, they recognize their
Majoro and
names.
shit.
They'd recognize
Yeah.
their names and they'd be like, yeah, these guys, the term that they use, these guys are sweaties.
Wish you
They're
luck.
fucking way of saying these guys are tryhards or these guys are good.
Because they're
And
sweats, bro. They don't touch grass. They never go out.
nah, bro, these people be flying across the map, dude.
Imagine fucking molding and then they always went in 3 stacks because they had recoveries. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, people are gonna be people, man. They're gonna keep hating no matter what. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
dude.
it is
I
like
know exactly what you mean.
it's similar, but not quite because these people knew of us. We just knew a little bit more because their streams
They
were
were big
bigger.
streamers, yeah.
But
Of course, of course.
I remember that there was one point where like there was like memes circulating of me of like I remember I had a tendency of like for the memes making like funny faces into the camera, and I got like I've unironically had people use those towards me, not knowing it was me.
It is what it is, man.
And I was like, I ain't even mad. It just means that I'm out there, But
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
that's another time.
I got that good exposure, brother.
Maybe if we're able to ever get back into the limelight, I guess you could say, and if this podcast blows up or the YouTube channel that I'm working on blows up, then maybe I'll go back into streaming. But I don't think it's necessarily something I want to put the grind into because it's so competitive right now, and unless you already have an audience, it's really, really hard to get some attention.
I mean, in reality,
I might have,
anything that's uploaded in like in the internet, bro, it's bound to be found somewhere. Somebody's gonna find it, and
it
that
just
that
be so
person.
funny. We like upload hundreds of videos and like eventually we just give up, and then like fucking 5 years later someone finds it and all of a sudden our podcast
Fucking
just
blow up.
blows up.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, bro. Believe it or not. I mean, I know. Fuck, who the fuck was it, dude? I know that this happened to one fucking YouTuber that I watched, where they give. Oh, no, never mind, I forgot. But like the guy, he gave up, but once he got that exposure, he fucking came back, and I was like, oh, good for you, man.
I'm happy
Um,
for you.
I mean, yeah, dude, fuck, like props to the guy, like. I'm
And
happy
I
for
mean the
you.
thing is like I don't okay the reason I don't like I'm fine with having one or two things where I'm just starting fresh and building up towards it, especially if I'm putting it like to the side and focusing on other things and letting it do its own thing. But like the issue is I want to talk about this, but I struggle with like imposter syndrome. I don't know if you know what that is.
No idea. I don't think I've
So
heard of
it's
it.
kind of like the feeling that when you're learning something or when you're in something that you feel like you're underqualified or like you feel like you don't belong, you feel like you're the imposter. And like take it with programming, a lot of programmers say that until they've been doing it for years and years on end, they always feel like they just don't belong. And it's weird with something like programming. Oh my god, my eye is so fucking itchy. it's weird with something like programming where it's like, even with schooling, you almost always end up looking for things online on Google. But I
Oh,
don't like that feeling, and just like having to grind out and pretend I have like an audience when I have 0 viewers. It just like kind of enunciates it for me, and I
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. On some real shit, bro, I had that at some point in school. Cause I mean, sure, I had the good grades, but I wasn't as competent as others who were genuinely, you know, better than me. All I did was pretend, dude. I was pretending, Pac-Man.
any pretenders in the chat.
Any pretenders, dude? No. Okay, so for example, this kind of goes back to the whole um. Okay, so biology, for example, because people always thought I was really smart. Like until this day, I genuinely do not think I'm that smart. Because like in reality, I mean, I'm just good at math. I'm not really good when it comes to like social studies or whatever the fuck. Science, I'm good, whatever. But there's a lot of things where I'm not as good as others thought I was. One of those examples. So English, for example, um, English. I wasn't good at English until what? Fucking like 11th grade, senior year. But people kept asking me for feedback, like when I was in like eighth, ninth, and I was like, bro, like, sure, but I'm not what you really think I am. Um, so I want to say that I did have that at some point, where I was like perceived as somebody that I wasn't, because I really wasn't as like as competent as others in various subjects except math. I was that's one exception. So you think that you're not competent in what again? In coding?
No, I mean, I just use coding as an example.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just
But
I often get a feeling of like not belonging somewhere because I'm just not as good as everybody else. And even with work, where I work, where I'm pretty competent at what I do, I sometimes get that feeling too. Like, especially like if like, let's say we have a 4-day weekend, I come back and I'm like, wait, how do I do this again? Even though it's something that's been ingrained with me with practice, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I just like second
it's
guess everything I do.
I've had that a lot. I actually still kind of have that too, where I'm just like, oh, bro, this calculation right? I'm not too sure, but then I'm. It's weird. I know exactly what you mean, but here's the thing that a lot of people got to realize. I know I realized it. You're not always gonna be good at everything.
Oh no, there's always gonna be someone that's better than you.
I mean, yeah, despite that, you're not always gonna be some fucking polymath where you're a prodigy at math, you're a prodigy at English, you're a prodigy at fucking physics, like it's just not. It could happen, but you know, more than likely it's not, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So people have to realize too that too, because I know a lot of people where they're like, "Oh, bro, I'm not good at English," or like, "Oh, bro, I'm not good at math," or like, "Oh, bro, I'm not good at what the fuck." And I would tell them, "But you were good at this, weren't you?" Yeah, and then I was like, "Then there you go. That's your thing. You have your forte.
And I
You
think
cannot
like
say that you're
comes
not smart."
it dials back to like people never feeling like never being happy with what they got. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, oh, like a guy has like a near perfect face, and all they can focus is on how their nose is a little bit too up. You know what I mean?
Perfect symmetry, dude. Pog.
Perfect symmetry, exactly.
It's
Um,
yeah, and I always had to like reassure and like
I don't
make
know,
these
and
people
like
realize.
I may be wrong, but I feel like that level of awareness is higher the smarter you are.
Yeah, it is.
Like like people that are dumb, they can just ignore that. They don't even question it. They're just like blindly confident for no reason.
Yeah, that's it happens oftentimes among really smart people. That's
Not to like, not saying that to like flatter myself or anything, but
I was gonna say, dude, I think I found
or not to say that I'm like a genius or anything like that. I'm just saying that
some five head
I
fucking
at
genius, dude. Over
sometimes I just wish that I was dumb, because I feel like a lot of my depression comes from the fact that I'm so self-aware and I'm just not satisfied with.
And that goes to the topic that I was gonna tell you. I posted a topic where about existential depression among highly intelligent people. That's what that was exactly what I was gonna tell you whenever we're talking about this right now. Because lately I've been having existential depression. You know, I start to question a lot of stuff. And I wondered myself that why does this happen oftentimes among like people who, you know,
Among Us?
are
Among Us, dude! Pause! Among Us!
among us, dude.
Among Us!
Why does this happen among people who are, you know, by default smarter? Um, because I had friends who, you know, arguably were some of the fucking smartest people I've ever stumbled upon, bro. Literal fucking geniuses, but they weren't happy. And I was like, well, why aren't you happy, bro? Like you're smart, you understand a lot of shit. You're not struggling. You're doing great. What is there to be sad about? And they're just like, I don't know. Like and I have this mutual feeling too, the way this person described it to me. And it was just like I'm just kind of like disappointed and upset of like upset about how shit really is. Like when you think about it, a lot of people are not, you know, doing great things because lately a lot of shit has been very different from how things ran back then. And by that, I mean, you know, the way people think, the way people do things, you know, ethics, morals, etc. Right? So like nowadays, and I'm pretty sure we spoke about this too, how like sex has become very um insensitive, where people just fuck and don't find any real value in that. Where back then sex was very sacred and sex was just, you know, an agreement, and not really just an agreement, but it was more of a bond.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I've been, well, not the sex part, right?
You've
But
been dealing with fucking too many people? Is that what you're saying?
but
No,
like
no strings attached, just tons of casual sex? Is that what
fuck,
you're
dude.
saying?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah. No, but like lately I've
For the record, if Alex's girlfriend is watching, he's just kidding. This is for
yeah,
humor
we're
only.
just
He's just
yeah,
joking. Please
we're
don't
just
kill
fucking
him.
around.
Don't hunt
Yeah,
him down and kill him. You know, it's just for jokes. It's nothing serious.
it's only a game. No, yeah, but like lately I've been just thinking about like, bro, like people are looking up at the wrong stuff. And the sad reality for me is that like on some real shit, if we keep going and if we keep going through the path we are going right now, as a species, we are bound to fucking fail. And it's sad because the human mind, such a fucking complex, you know, thing, structure. We can do many like imaginable things. We can do anything, but people are not really using all that power. People are just they just don't give a fuck. People are thinking about the wrong stuff. People want the wrong stuff, and people are not really, you know, being productive members of society. And I don't want to say that everybody's like this, right? But I do want to argue that the grand majority are like this because I've seen a lot of people who are just, you know, arguably not very productive. All they're doing is, you know, nothing.
Wasting away.
They're wasting their life
Since you're
away.
bringing up the human brain, it's kind of related. So you know that there's that insult that gets thrown around where people get called smooth brain because they're idiots.
Yeah.
And the smart, usually like the more you learn, the wrinklier your brain gets.
Yeah.
So I found out that probably the most
brain is all
idiotic,
wrinkled.
probably the most idiotic animal are like koalas. So first of all, they've evolved in a way where like their brain is like surrounded by like a kind of like a liquid, because they will fall off trees so often and
Like a
die.
gel?
Like a gel, yeah, because they would fall off trees so often and die. So they evolved having like a gel in their face, and so their fucking brains wouldn't get all fucking mush from the fall. And they consume, I believe all they eat is like eucalyptus, which gives them like nothing. Like that's like they have to sleep like 18 to 20 hours a day because they get no benefits from eating a plant that literally gives them nothing. And then on top of that, like if you try to feed them eucalyptus, like if you bring it down from the tree and put it somewhere so where they can eat it, they won't eat it because in their brains they won't process that it's the same food that they eat. They have to climb onto the trees and get it themselves because that's the only way they know. If you put it right in front of them, they'll just walk over it. And if you look, let me see if I can fucking find a picture. If you look at their brains, it's as smooth as it gets. And I'll show you guys too if you guys want to watch.
Dude, that's my brain pog.
Actual smooth brain.
Smooth as
There's
fuck,
no
dude.
wrinkles on this.
Jesus.
They're just dumb.
So they're cute animals, but they're fucking dumb as shit.
Oh, like this one. My brain versus your brain. Smooth, no winkles. Cute, can't think equals no sad. Bumpy, your brain. Bumpy, weird, gross, wrinkles, ugly, thinks equals sad.
That is kind of true though. If you, the more you're able to think, the more sad you get.
It's just they're not very bright, and they seem relatively happy. But I think that goes to show that I guess the smarter you are, the less likely you are to be happy. I guess you're just never either satisfied or comfortable with what you have, and you're always like overthinking things, because I think that's something that comes with the more knowledge. You're more likely to overthink the brighter you are.
True as fuck. And speaking of which, that also reminds me of another article that I posted, and it's from the Harvard Crimson. It's an old article, right? I read this a long time ago too, but I kind of wanted to revisit it after the whole existential depression shit. And it talks about the sad Socrates effect, and it mostly talks about the Harvard students, right? But by default, I guess you can say that a lot of Harvard students are smart as fuck, except those people who pay a lot of money. Anyways, and it says right here that, let me look for it real quick. So Harvard students' intelligence may be the cause of our higher than average rates of depression and suicide in Boston. And the article elaborates a lot more and mentions existential depression. And it's just it's a really good article to read. Oh, and also the one that I posted, because it just really makes you think why, like, why does this have to be the case?
Well,
You
I'll try to
know,
include the link for the sad Socrates effect on the description. So if you guys are interested in reading up on that, it just kind of goes into depth with how intellect plays a factor in like your level of happiness. And I'll try to put that for you guys, unless I forget. If I do, I'm sorry. There's
I have
one
the link
last
saved, so.
okay. There's one last thing that I did want to talk about, and I don't know if you saw this because I don't want to end kind of like on a serious note. Did you see this thing about
It's fuck yeah, dude. What is it?
It's essentially like Netflix is bringing forth
Sexy beasts.
the fucking furry meta. So I think this show's already out, but it's essentially like these singles. They wear like really like elaborate like makeups and prosthetics, like almost to look like furry suits, and
Yikes.
it's like the quote unquote true blind date chemistry test. And I've seen like a lot of good pictures, and like there's one where like two of them are talking, and then there's like one in the background. He's like, I wonder if these guys know that I'm like an actual furry.
Is that a fucking beaver, bro?
Yeah, it says as first, personality second.
Bro, this shit's fucking weird.
And then A&W restaurants, I guess his invite got lost in the mail.
Oh my god, dude. What is this?
When are you going to take the next logical step and make a dating show for us single furries?
Dude, this is...
Furries, normies.
Normies. We can concur that this shit's weird as fuck.
So I guess this show had already aired. It aired in on 2014 on BBC and 2016
That's just
on A&E.
bizarre. Pinches furros, me lleva la chingada. True as fuck. Hey man, like, on some real shit, I think
says,
furries...
Yes, I wonder if the woman with implants and the guy built like an NFL linebacker will see past mysterious physical beauty.
Jesus. What the
That's
fuck?
a big set of personality.
Could you fall in love with someone based on personality alone?
That's a big set of personality right there. It's just bizarre. I don't know.
It's bizarre as fuck. It's just abnormal, you know?
Like, okay, not to like, and I don't mean this as an offense to furries, but it's, how do they call it? Do they call it like
kink shaming?
No. What do they call it? Like something play? What is it?
Role play? Furry play?
No, like when they have sex. What do they call it? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I genuinely do not know because I think
you have a piñata in the background, so I figured you know what it's called.
I'm not a furry though. What the fuck? Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not against furries or what the fuck. But
I mean, do what makes you happy.
Yeah,
but
it's just,
you gotta understand that from an outsider point of view, that shit's weird as fuck.
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of people push it way too far.
Oh, definitely. But like, you can't blame us. It's like, it's obviously something we don't understand, and it might be a preference for you, but seeing it from the outside is just bizarre. So,
I mean, even furries can concur that this shit's fucking weird, bro.
So, as an outsider looking in, I want to apologize for other outsiders. That being said, your shit's still kind of weird, and it kind of scares me, but I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like we said, if do whatever fucking floats your boat. If you're happy, right? But don't fucking push the limit. Don't force it down people's throats.
Don't expect your little what is it, fur play to be on live television.
Yeah, because like,
I understand that porn is on some channels, but like, you know, fur play is like a little much, at least by today's societal standards, and maybe that might change in the future. But for now, it's not that we're trying to oppress you, it's just that we think it's weird. And if you like doing it, good for you, but, you know.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like, okay, so I spoke to this one person, and it turned out to be a furry, right? And I was like, "Oh, cool, whatever." I mean, we were chill until that person started to be weird, and I was like, "Bro, I told you from the right off the get go, bro, right at the beginning, I'm not into that shit. Don't convince me. Just stop. Like, just cut it, because like I'm not into it. If you're into it, good for you. Go for it. Do whatever the fuck you want, right? Like, hey, at the end of the day, people like whatever the fuck they want, right? It's just that,
Nah, dog,
you
not
know,
me.
don't
But
shove it
yeah,
down people's throat, because people push it to the fucking limit, even beyond the fucking limit. It's crazy. Like, it gets to
that.
the point where people radicalize a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. That being said, if you are into that kind of stuff, the Sexy Beasts, I think it's already on Netflix, so go give it a watch. We're not sponsored. I
The
promise
face
we're
of the
not big
bull.
enough to be sponsored, but if you like it, go check it out. You know, give it a watch. You might like it or you might find it offensive. I don't know.
Bro,
But
but
have fun, I guess.
these are not just animals, bro. They're fucking aliens too. No, what the
They're like
fuck?
anthropomorphic kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
A devil, bro. Sheesh.
Yeah.
I mean, man, whatever. I mean, if you like
That
that shit,
being
you like
that
that
being
shit.
said, we're actually out of topics for today. We went through quite a bit. We didn't really find too much that we wanted to talk about this week. We are at an hour and 26 minutes, which is a little longer than usual.
Longer than usual, actually. Yeah. Yo, cut it off, bro. Bonus clip. No, I'm
Yo,
joking.
yo, cut the VOD.
Cut the VOD, bro.
That being
Save
said,
the last 30 minutes for Patreon cat.
for Patreon, like the one that we don't have.
For real, we only have one.
We'll probably make a bonus episode where we'll actually try to show the shows. We are kind of limited to what we can and can't show. I've gotten copyright claims.
We got copyright strike like what,
not
3 times?
strikes, because copyright strikes and claims are different.
Well, we got copyrighted claims. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
And like it was instantly after uploading, and it's just a hassle to get rid of. So we're gonna try to limit what we show. If you're watching and you want to help us grow, please recommend this to your friends. You know, leave a like on YouTube, subscribe if you like it, or leave us a 5-star and a review on whatever streaming service you use. It'll really help this podcast grow. And maybe eventually we'll be able to open up a Patreon and we can give you guys some extra content that's a little bit, more NSFW, not really, kind of.
Yes, sir. More
risque, if you will.
More freaky shit, you know what I'm saying,
a
dog?
little more risque.
Yeah, and make sure to share us on whatever platform you use: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, fucking MySpace, whatever fuck you use.
High fives if you still use that for whatever reason. We are gonna start using the Instagram. Alex is gonna try to post some highlights from today's episode on there, and we are probably gonna start a highlight channel. So you can, get like the more important bits if you're too busy throughout the week to listen for whatever reason. And if after we make that, I'll add that onto the description. Don't forget to add our socials and whatnot. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Pablo. This is Alex, and I hope you guys have a lovely weekend.
Take it easy, guys. Ciao.
Peace.